I was nominated to do the Ice Bucket Challenge by Sean Kenway, and I appreciate that. And I really want to do it, and I want to donate, and I want everything to go well for ALS. But I've been seeing a lot of people on Facebook talking about how bad the Ice Bucket Challenge is, and how you can waste so much fresh water on dumping it on your head, and how it's not actually helping anybody with anything. And it kind of really bothers me, because this is a non-profit organization that is doing a fundraise, and they're doing a very, very good job of it. I did some research and looking, and it was all started, at least this version of the Ice Bucket was started by a baseball player out of the States who realized that he had ALS a few years ago and has been working towards getting more people to know more about it. He goes to schools, he goes to all these different events and talks to people about ALS and how bad it is and how underfunded it is. The problem with it is that less than 0.1% of people get ALS. It's difficult to fundraise through the government. It's difficult for the government to give lots of money to something that only affects a small number of people. So what they do is they spend more money on larger diseases, larger health issues, and less money on smaller ones. Now, ALS, the ALS Association in the States, does make a fair amount of money. Upwards of 24 million last year, I believe it is. And they have spent that fairly well. I have heard people talking about how they don't spend money where it should go, and they spend so much money on administration and their own fundraising, everything else. What you have to remember is that the ALS is not the people who actually do the fundraising. They're the ones who allocate fundraised money to different people who are doing the research. They do grants, and they separate money for use for people who have ALS, to get them equipment that's needed, to get them medicine that's needed, and so on. So not every single bit that you spend goes directly into the research, but it does go to helping the research, and it does go to saving people. The amount of money that ALS has made so far through this Ice Bucket Challenge is staggering. $70 million so far for free. They haven't spent a dime to make this. And it was all started by one person who was upset with how much little was being done about it. And then, on top of that, we have people all over Facebook talking about how horrible it is to spend good water dumping it on their heads. The dumping of the water is supposed to be an either-or thing. You donate the money, or you dump the water on your head. A lot of people are having fun with it. They're doing both. They're donating and they're dumping. I don't see a problem in this. I don't see why so many people can be so pissed off at one person's dream. And the people that are doing it because they want to. You don't have to do it. So I just walked a little over 2,000 steps while talking about ALS. I'm going to say it wrong. I'm not even going to try. ALS is a disease that breaks down your body. It stops you from being able to do anything. You sit in a chair and have people carry you, have people feed you. A lot of times you can't even feed yourself. You can't chew, you can't swallow. They put a tube into your stomach and feed you through that tube with a plunger. It's not a very fun disease to have. Usually people who have it die within just a few years, 5, maybe 10. And it's one of the most humiliating ways to go. Everything needs to be done for you. To have so many people try so hard to post videos of themselves dumping ice water on their head is, I think, the least we can do for something so bad. Granted, there are other diseases. There's all the different types of cancers. There's Parkinson's. There's heart disease. There's so many different diseases. We can't really keep up with everything. We can't always donate all of our money to every single disease. A lot of us can't even donate any money to any of the diseases. What we can do, though, is we can bring awareness so that everybody knows. Before this challenge, how many people knew what ALS was, if it was even there? How many people actually know what ALS is now? How many people, after dumping a bucket on their head or donating, went to the ALSA site and looked at what ALS is, what it does, the different types of people it affects, how many people it affects, what's being done to change it? And that's my challenge. My challenge is for everybody to go online and look at what ALS is. Find out why you're dumping this bucket on your head. Find out why you're donating money. Learn as much as you can about as much as you can. And then everything else should fall into place. If everybody donated $1 to one cause each year, we would have hundreds of millions of dollars more than what we have now. And everybody could feel a little bit better about themselves. If dumping a bucket of ice on your head is what makes you feel better, then do that. Just let people know what it is you're passionate about, what it is you care about, and things that bother you. Because if you don't, no one else will. And we live in a first world country, and I'm pretty happy with this country. Everything about it makes me glad to be here. It's not horrible to live here. Doing what we can to help others that live here doesn't seem like that big of a deal. Donate, dump a bucket on your head, run around in circles on your front lawn screaming ALS, ALS. Do whatever it is you can to help these people, and do whatever it is you can to make everything that you care about important to other people. Because if nobody knows, nobody cares.